Hi, my name is Craig Garber. I work for a small, family-owned company here in town that buys one or two single-family properties and mobile homes each month in Gibsonton and throughout Hillsborough County. However, there are a number of things we do differently when we buy your property. For starters, we pay you all cash, even if there's little or no equity in the property. You don't have to waste your time listing your property on the MLS, and you don't have to sit around waiting to show your property to potential buyers either. Then hoping you can find a buyer, and then hoping that buyer can qualify for a bank loan. Unfortunately, hope is not a very good business strategy, and it's a horrible strategy when it comes to selling your property. So we take hope right out of the equation by just paying you all cash. In some cases, we can even buy your property simply by taking over your mortgage payments. This works especially well when you don't have a lot of equity in your property. Plus, we close really fast. We close and get you paid very quickly, often in as little as 7 days. Of course, if you want to wait longer, or if you need to stay in the property for a few days after we close, that's usually not a problem at all. We'll also pay all your closing costs. This means you pay nothing. You get to avoid all the typical charges that normally eat up all your profits. Things like doc stamps, transfer fees, or any kind of closing fees at all. All you do is come in and pick up your check, and that's it. But that's not all you get to save. You also don't have to pay any real estate commissions either. There are absolutely no fees to use our services at all. It's completely free. We'll get paid later on once we decide what we're going to wind up doing with the property. No repairs. If your property needs some kind of repairs or fixing up, don't worry about it. We'll take care of it at our expense. No matter how much work the property needs, even if it's completely trashed, we'll buy your home in any condition and at any price range. This means you don't have to spend any time or money fixing the place up, and you also don't have to waste your time running around town trying to find someone reliable to do all that repair work for you either. Plus, bad tenants are okay. I have more good news for you. If you currently have bad tenants in the property, they're no longer your problem. Even if they haven't paid you in a while, don't worry about them. We'll take care of this, again, at our expense. This lets you avoid any kind of hassles or confrontation. And you'll also have no sales pressure at all when you deal with us. You'll never have to deal with any of the high-pressure sales tactics or any of the typical sales junk other people make you deal with in situations like this. You'll find me to be very easy to talk with, as a matter of fact. I'm very direct and extremely transparent about things. And the truth is, I've been in your same situation before, so I understand the stress and anxiety that you might be feeling about having to deal with this in the first place. Anxiety over having to maintain a property you don't want, and anxiety over this keeping you awake at night. And the good news is, my goal is to help you get rid of these problems as fast as possible, and that's it. You'll never get disappointed by fake sales either. Sometimes when you're dealing with a realtor, their buyer can tie your property up for weeks or even months. Then they either change their mind at the last second, or more typically, the financing they were banking on, the financing they thought they qualified for, suddenly falls through. This adds loads of stress and usually months of wasted time to an already anxiety-filled situation. But because we pay you all cash and close quickly, you'll never experience any of this when you're working with us. Also, no last-minute changes. You have my word. Unfortunately, there are a lot of people in this business who will say one thing and then do another. They'll promise to buy your house for one amount, and then once you get to the closing table, they'll suddenly tell you about some kind of an adjustment they found out that they have to make that's going to lower your price by several $1,000s or more. You'll never have to deal with this situation with us. We put everything in writing, and even more important than any document you can sign is the integrity of my word. When I look you in the eye and I say something, you can rely on me to do whatever I'm committing to. I've got a great reputation, and I treat people the same way I like to be treated, with dignity and respect. And speaking of putting everything in writing, our paperwork is short and sweet and very easy to understand. Unlike most property sales where you get pages and pages of legal mumbo jumbo to sort through, our paperwork is 1 page long. It's written in normal size fonts and in plain and simple English. And if you need help understanding it, I'll go over it line by line with you. And of course, it goes without saying, you're more than welcome to have any of your advisors look over any of the paperwork you get from us. We'll also have your transaction handled by a licensed and insured title agent right here in the local area. This way, you know everything is being done above board. Now, the other nice thing about this is if you live out of the area or if you have a hard time getting around, you can even have your money wired directly into your bank account. Or if you prefer, you can have your check overnighted to you by Federal Express, whichever is easiest for you. And lastly, we know the Tampa Bay area really well. My funding partners and I have over 30 years of combined real estate experience. And in the last 12 years alone, we've purchased and sold over 351 homes here in Pasco, Hillsborough, and Hernando counties. And I'm telling you this not to brag, but to let you know, no matter how unique your situation might be, chances are outstanding we've already ran across it before. And we'll work really hard to help you figure out a solution that solves your problem and makes sense for you. The bottom line is, even if you're not 100% sure this is for you, contact me anyway and give it a shot. I'm quite happy to answer any questions you might have, and you'd be surprised how many times things wind up working out much better than you were originally thinking they would. So if you want to sell your property, contact us right now using one of the following two methods. First, you can either complete the form on the right-hand side of this page that says, "Yes, I want to sell my property now." Once you submit the form, someone will call you back right away. Or second, you can call us right now and speak to me directly by calling the number right below this video. If no one is available, please leave me a message and someone will call you back within 30 minutes or less. If your property qualifies, we'll be able to get you a firm offer in writing, usually within 2 to 3 days. Then you can decide what you want to do. If you want to sell, great. And if you don't want to sell, that's okay too. Either way is fine. Like I said, you get to call the shots here. There's no hassles and absolutely no pressure at all. Most of our customers are thrilled to walk away with a nice pile of cash in 7 days and to be able to finally get rid of all the headaches, hassles, and expenses you're currently having to pay out for a property you no longer want. Now, before we go, let me just share with you a few of the many testimonials we have on file here in our office. I recently worked with Craig to help sell a property my brother and I inherited. He was polite and courteous, never any pressure or hassles. He paid me a fair price for my property and I got paid quickly. He followed up with me throughout the transaction and I'd recommend him to anyone looking to sell their property quickly. That was Gary Clary out of Port Richey, Florida. Craig was great to deal with. I got paid the full amount promised and I never felt pressured to do anything. He was a really nice guy to talk with and he took care of everything from beginning to end. This was especially important to me because I live in Illinois and the property I sold was a rental I had in Holiday, Florida. Mary Ellen Dillon. I had a number of lowball offers from people who spoke down to me and who were flat out rude. Craig was very professional and he paid me a fair price for my property. He's a real genuine guy and was easy to work with. I was able to close and get paid exactly what I needed so I could move out of town on time. I also got the amount I was promised. Jeff Booth, Wesley Chapel, Florida. My wife and I owned an investment property in Pasco County that was dated and needed a lot of work. We live out of town and had no interest in sinking this much money into the property. Craig handled everything and kept in constant communication to let us know what was going on. I even sent him the keys by mail from out of town. He showed me photos of the various parts of the property that needed specific work. We came to an agreement quickly and we closed the following week. Even the closing was a breeze. I was able to do everything from my computer and I got a check sent to me overnight. That was Richard and Ann Alter out of Sebastian, Florida. I had to move out of town for job transfer purposes almost immediately. I had appointments with 4 different people to come and look at my house. 2 of them never showed up for their first or second appointments, and one of them came over and pushed me around and spoke to me as if I wasn't even human. Craig showed up on time when he was supposed to, and then he came back a second time to take another look at my property again the very next day. We came to an agreement and I closed on my property and moved out of town on time within 8 days. He was even able to work something out where I was able to stay in the property until the day after we closed, which made my life a lot easier. He's a very pleasant guy to deal with. Richard Williams out of Brooksville, Florida. Now, these are just some of the many testimonials we have on file here in our offices. So if you want to sell your property, contact us right now using one of the following two methods. Number one, either complete the form on the right-hand side of this page that says, yes, I want to sell my property now. Once you submit the form, somebody will call you back right away. Or second, you can call us right now and speak to me directly by calling the number right below this video. If no one is available, please leave me a message. Someone will call you back within 30 minutes or less. If your property qualifies, we'll be able to get you a firm offer in writing, usually within 2 to 3 days. Then you can decide what you want to do. If you want to sell, great. And if you don't want to sell, that's okay too. Either way is fine. Like I said, you get to call the shots here. There's absolutely no hassles and no pressure to do anything you don't want to do. I want to thank you for listening to this message, and I want to let you know I'm looking forward to helping you sell your property and helping you solve whatever problems you're currently dealing with this property. If you have any questions at all, contact me at the number below this video. And even if you're on the edge of the fence, obey that urge you're feeling and call me now at the number below this video, because you have absolutely nothing to lose and everything to gain. Talk to you soon. Enjoy the rest of your day.